Good evening and a warm welcome to everyone joining us today. The Startup and Innovation Cell of Neswadia College of Commerce is pleased to present the fourth webinar in its series on self-reliance and entrepreneurship. On behalf of the Startup Cell and its core committee members, I wish everyone an enjoyable learning experience and a fruitful interaction today. It's my pleasure to introduce Sonal Singh, co-founder and director of Fitter. Sonal Singh is co-founder and director of Fitter, a fitness startup, and recently has received India's Most Powerful Woman Award 2020 by Business Today. Sonal firmly believes that when you value courage over comfort, great things happen. Having developed a strong work ethic early on, Sonal started helping her parents at their stores in Canada after school and during holidays at the age of 11. She attributes her great customer excellence skills to this experience. Sonal graduated from UBC in the top 1% of her class with full scholarship. She has worked with the United Nations in Brazil and Aga Khan Foundation in Gujarat on women's access to healthcare in rural communities. She graduated from the London School of Economics with a degree in policy and economics. At the onset of the global economic recession, she was one of the handful of people from her graduating class to secure a job at Deloitte as a strategy consultant, where she worked for 4 years. In a strong desire to fulfill her purpose on a hunch, she quit her job in London and moved to India, where she started helping brands like Forever New as a freelance consultant. In 2016, Sonal met founder Jitendra Chowsky and joined forces to grow Fitter, previously Squats, an online fitness platform providing health education to people, one-on-one guidance, and community support. Sonal spearheaded initiatives to onboard clients like Philips, Infosys, Reliance Mutual Fund, and many more. She also led the investment initiative with Secocia's search program. Through her role as a director at Fitter, she emphasizes the importance for women to prioritize their health above all else. Fitter, backed by actor Sunil Shetty, is now a community of more than 2 million people worldwide. For raising awareness on domestic violence in the community and conducting workshops for low-income women in partnership with NGO Udyan Care, Sonal has been awarded the REX Karamveer Chakra Global Fellowship and We Are the City's Rising Star Award. Sonal writes and speaks regularly Sonal writes and speaks regularly about wellness and emotional fitness in her blog Fit Mind and Fit Body. On behalf of the college, I welcome Sonal Singh and request her to take over the session. Before she begins, I would like to remind you that we are using a free version of Zoom. So if the session ends in between, please use the same link to join back. Over to you, Sonal ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that intro. And special thanks to Dr. Miriam as well for inviting me here, and to everyone who is giving up some time on their Saturday.
Okay, somebody's mic was on. It's gone now.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe before I get into further details, we can go over some house rules. I was just saying thank you so much for giving up some of your time on Saturday to hear me speak. And I know it might be unconventional, but I would really love to see some of your faces. So please feel free to keep your cameras on. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just talking to myself. And that's not the best feeling in the world. So I would really encourage, thank you. So I see that someone, Simran, turned her camera on. So please, guys, I want this to be interactive. I want this to be fun. Keep your cameras on. Do keep yourself on mute so that we can communicate effectively. And my goal here is to talk a bit, and then leave as much time for questions so that this is interactive. So that's the purpose here. So again, really, really excited to be here, and hopefully I can see some smiles when I talk, because that'll encourage me to speak more as well. So what I'm going to do now is just share my screen. So give me 1 second. So I'm just having trouble sharing it, saying host disabled participant screen sharing. So if you can just help me out with that.
Radhika, enable the sharing.
Yes, just a moment.
Perfect. And you wanted me to make you the host. And the reason that I want to talk about this today is not only because it's something fun to talk about, but also I think there was a lot of key learnings that I had in this process, which I've been able to apply throughout my experience henceforth. So the focus today, guys, is really going to be on how do you create a winning mindset. Now, what happened is that in 2016, before I joined Fitter, I actually was approached to enter a beauty pageant, and I was on a career break. So I thought, why not? Let's do something crazy. And that experience has really helped me and shaped me in terms of thinking about how to develop this positive attitude and winning mindset, which is going to be the focus of today. Now, after winning that competition, I was actually approached by quite a few individuals, including Fitter. That's how I found out about Fitter, to come and present and talk about this question that everyone had was, how do you win a pageant? How do you win things? How do you win a competition? How do you ace yourself through life? What do you need to do? What do you need to prepare for? And to be honest, the answer was difficult because I felt that the question was wrong. It's not about how do you win, because, you know, much to everyone's disappointment, I told people there's no way to ensure you will win, because you can't control the outcome in these things, right? Just like most things in life, you can't control the outcome. So the only thing you can do is talk about and focus on is how to create a winning mindset instead. So most people think, you know, especially in the case of, let's say, a beauty pageant, if they get into shape, they get fit, they have the best clothes, they have designer gowns, they perfect the posing, they memorize some very scripted answers, that they're prepared. And if they don't win, they'll be shocked and disappointed. But what's really important to understand, like other areas in life, beauty, of course, is one of the qualities being assessed, or, you know, something that is within your control. But there's also other aspects of a pageant, such as confidence and grace. Now, beauty may not be in everyone's hands to control, but confidence and grace is defined by how you carry yourself. And this is so applicable to everything that you approach in life. So whether it's preparing for a job interview, whether it's doing an investor pitch, whether it's preparing for an exam, how you prepare yourself mentally is going to be key here, apart from obviously the knowledge and the technical skills that you need. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Right, and I'm going to cover this by talking about 5 tips that I believe are really critical in developing this winning mindset, right? And I think the first is really about knowing your purpose. So it's really essential that you ask yourself, you take a step back and ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. And as I said, most of the time, the outcome is not in your hands. So if your only purpose is to win or to clear the interview or, you know, to get 100%, remember that part of this is out of your control. And also in an experience like a job interview, or let's say the pageant, in my case, if you're constantly stressed about the outcome of winning, then that stress and nervousness will actually appear on your face, in your actions, in the way that you communicate with people. And so it will actually affect your experience. So no, I had the opportunity to actually participate in 2 of these beauty pageants in my life, in very different times of my life. One was when I was unmarried, I was quite young, I didn't know what I was doing. and I didn't win. And the other time was in 2016 when I was married. I had a better sense of my purpose going into the pageant, and it made a huge difference, not only in the outcome, of course, because I won, but in terms of my experience throughout the process. So I'm going to show you an image, and I would encourage someone to just shout out the answer if possible. Just unmute yourself. I'm going to ask a question. So I want you to take a look at these two photos and tell me, what do you notice? What is different in these two photos? Like, forget about the...
Many people, sorry to interrupt, because
Yes, sorry. I think someone was saying something.
yeah, I was saying that your voice is sort of breaking. So maybe because people's videos are on, sometimes it happens since we are maybe the bandwidth issue or something. I don't know. But your voice in between, it was gone.
Oh, okay. So the question. So did you hear anything I said, or was I just talking to myself?
Said, I'm going to show a picture. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the picture everyone can see, right? And maybe what we can do is, you can just give me a thumbs up if I can see you. If you don't want to unmute, that might disrupt the process. But what I was saying is that I participated in 2 pageants in my life. And what I wanted everyone to take a look at when you're looking at these photos is, what is the difference in the photos that you see? Now, I'm not talking about the physical differences, or that, on the left I'm wearing white, on the right I'm wearing golden. What do you see in the demeanor? Does anyone see a difference? And feel free to unmute yourself and just shout this out.
Your confidence.
Hi, may I speak? Can you hear me?
Yes, so I heard
I think
confidence.
there's a very big difference, like the grooming and the total appearance is different. Posture-wise also, and confidence-wise also.
Yes. So I heard posture, I heard grooming, which is again a physical thing, but still I'll take it. But confidence, right? Confidence, as well as I think the last point was the posture, right? Which are interrelated. So thank you guys. Thank you for participating. Exactly, right? So in the left was the first time I did it, and I was very nervous. I was unsure of myself. I was scared. Yeah, I had maybe the physique, I had the clothes, but I was not really clear of my purpose. I just thought it's to win, and if you don't win, you fail. That was my mindset. Whereas when I participated the second time, it was really about enjoying the experience, being the best that I could be, just for the sake of it, and just to learn from the experience, as well as meet so many other fabulous women who are in the pageant, and make these lifelong, which have become lifelong partnerships. So the approach was different, and it really reflected in my body language as well as the outcome. And that leads me to the second major point, which is on, the second, one second, I'm having some problem. Yes, the second major point, which is all about the confidence that can come from body language, right? Now, it's really, really important that no matter how many people are in the pageant or applying for a job or sitting for an interview, that you actually focus on what's in your control, and that is confidence. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen the movie Dhoni, which released several years ago. And I remember there's a particular scene in the movie which was just so hard-hitting for me. It was when Dhoni loses to Yuvraj Singh, and he says afterwards that match hum field pe nahi, basketball court pe haar gaye the. So this really resonated with me. And again, I would encourage anyone, the first person, to unmute and just share, what do you think this meant? Why do you think that he made this statement?
Can I speak?
Yes, go ahead. Who has started answering? You can go ahead and
Yeah, it's very well explained, like you said.
Dhoni explains, like, in that particular scene, it's like the way Yuvraj carries himself even for the practice on the field, and the people in the opposite team, in Dhoni's team, were like, they were awestruck, and they watched him and they were like, they had lost it there itself. Like, the way Yuvraj had carried himself throughout. There's where he had lost it. Like, the others had lost. I mean, the opposite from Dhoni's one. And like they were,
Yes,
there's one crossing scene like where the Yuvraj goes on the field and the Dhoni and his teammates are going opposite. That's the
yes.
scene exact. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you got the answer absolutely right. You know, the team was the opposing Dhoni's team was so awestruck. Was so I encourage you guys now to be on mute. Sorry, so that we can hear one another. So everyone, please be on mute while I'm speaking, and we'll have enough time for questions, guys. So I think we have Niranjan, Swati. You guys are still not on mute. Please, please make sure you're on mute. Thank you.
Please
Thank you.
mute Niranjan, Swati.
Yes, so they've muted. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, so you've answered the
Radhika,
question.
mute Swati.
I just did.
Yes, perfect. So the team was so awestruck by his confidence of, you know, being a cool guy that they started to feel inferior, and that affected their performance. So I'm sure so many people here can resonate with this. How many of us actually feel ready for an exam? We've prepared, and then we go to the exam room the morning of the exam, and then everyone is crowded. Everyone's talking about how much they studied, which chapters they studied. And someone says, I studied 4 hours last night. And then the other person says, I studied all night. And then you're thinking, oh my God, shit, I only studied 2 hours. Like, I'm going to fail, right? It shakes your confidence and ultimately might affect your performance. So that's because the root cause of this is fear, right? We're afraid that we are not good enough, and this is shaking us up and eventually affecting our outcome. So how do you actually solve this problem? And to be honest, it's not that difficult actually. What you need to do is focus on your body language. Believe it or not, it's all about the physical techniques you use to get you in that state of mind, right? So you need to ensure that your body language, just as we saw in the first photo that I showed, is reflecting that you're a winner, right? Your posture needs to be upright, your shoulders should be set back, and even the way you speak, the way you use your hands, this will all affect your confidence. So, you know, it's actually has been proven as well. So Harvard Business School published research that showed that certain changes you make in your body before an important event, whether it's a meeting, an interview, an investor pitch, it can actually help you with your confidence level. And these are called power positions. Okay, and it's really, really important to use these in such instances where you want to build your confidence. So, for example, if you just practice this, and I know you might not be able to do it right now, but if you were to just, you know, put your shoulders back, put your hands on your hips, maybe stand up when you're doing it so that you feel even more of the power position, and just take a deep breath and exhale for 2 minutes. Take long, deep breaths. You yourself will feel a difference in your physical self as well as your mental state. So what happens in this instance actually is that your testosterone goes up by 20%. And your cortisol, which is actually a stress hormone, this goes down by 22%. It's also been found that you're 33% more likely to take action, whereas before, fear might have stopped you from taking such an action. So this behavioral change comes about from simple actions that you can make. And I do a lot of work on this and a lot of sessions on this, so happy to take this during Q&A. But the point here is that just doing things like focusing on your breathing, doing power positions, this can actually help you feel more confident and exude that confidence for an important event, right? Or an interview, or any such case where you're looking to really impress someone, but you're feeling scared or nervous. Right. The second point I wanted to make was that so many times we focus on the negative. So many times we're thinking about, you know, why me? Why does this always happen to me? Why is it that, you know, my friend Shweta always gets top marks and I'm the one who always studies harder than her. I work harder than her, but I'm the one who's always getting a B. I'm not getting an A. And when you start going down this line of thinking, which is negative, it spirals very quickly. And when you're in this mode, everything around you becomes negative. So how do we counteract this type of thinking and actually focus on the positive? One way of doing this is, rather than focusing on expectations, like what should be given to me, what I deserve, you know, focusing on what you already have. And I know this sounds very simplistic, but trust me, it works wonders. When you wake up in the morning and you actually come from a place of appreciation versus expectation, it just colors the entire day for you. So, you know, it's just about having that positive energy and then emitting it so that it affects every aspect of your day. So I know that I think we just have 5 minutes left before the Zoom call ends. So in that space, I would ask everyone to do this quick activity, and then probably we can come back to the link. Everyone, just for a moment, close their eyes, okay? Take a really deep breath. So inhale, exhale, and do close your eyes. I'm not closing them because I'm speaking, but do this and feel the power of this exercise. So close your eyes, just get yourself in a calm state of mind, take a deep breath, and really think about one moment or instance in your life that you're really, really proud of. Okay, this could be something amazing that you've achieved. It could be an A on an exam. It could be something your parents said, you know, just boasting about you, or a goal you scored in a match. Just think about that one moment that where you felt that you've achieved something, and you've gotten some praise or success. Right. And anyone want to just quickly share how that felt, what the experience is for them, just very quickly?
It felt so calm, and
It
it
felt
gave a
calm.
smile on the face.
Yes, that's great. I can't see the smiles, unfortunately, but I will trust you. But that's exactly right. And thank you for your answer. It just it just helps you ground yourself, right? And remove the negativity around, and that feeling just kind of overwhelms you. What if you could hold on to that feeling, right? What if you could start every day with that feeling? And that's not a rhetorical question. It's possible, right? If you just start your day with a gratitude exercise, which is something that I have started doing and it works wonders, you can actually approach the day with that mindset and actually trick your mind into going very quickly from the expectation negative mode versus the positive appreciation mode. You know, so then the same things which used to irritate you, which used to anger you, they actually won't affect you to that extent anymore, because you'll be looking at it from a lens of, okay, at least, like initially maybe someone might have done something to you and you thought, oh, why did he do this? Why didn't he give me all the answers? Why did he only give me one answer? Why is he doing it like this? Why is he not doing like this? Instead of that, you might be like, oh, you know, I'm so grateful that he's just given me this, you know. So it just changes your mindset. And that really, when you come from that place of gratitude, things like fear, anxiety, stress, they kind of dissolve away. So this is something that's really, really, although it sounds simplistic, really powerful that you can inculcate in your daily life, as well as right before you're approaching a very stressful event. Just take a few minutes, focus on this, and you can see the difference in your approach. So I think we're going to get kicked out of the Zoom. So maybe we can continue once we all get back on the link. It's saying less than a minute.
Yes, everyone, please join using the same link.
Okay. I'll see everyone soon. Okay. Bye.